Today we mix things up a little bit and start on land with a visit to the Sioux Narrows Sport Fishing Center to talk fishing. Then it's off to the lake for a bit of solo time, honing in on some bass spots.
Fishing with Gussy is proudly sponsored by and uses Shimano rods and reels. Visit Shimano.ca for all the specs.
Hey there folks, we're down in Sioux Narrows this evening at the Northern Ontario Sport Fishing Center, and this is a new facility that came about in the past couple of years, all about the history of sport fishing in Northern Ontario. A lot of Lake of the Woods stuff and a lot of cool stuff from all across the region, so let's step inside and see what this place is all about. So since we're on the shores of Lake of the Woods down here in Sioux Narrows, there's a lot of really interesting, really neat Lake of the Woods stuff at the Sport Fishing Center. And you can see this is a really nice map of the whole lake. We've got, this is the Sioux Narrows area right here, Whitefish Bay. We got Kenora up at the top end of the lake. Clearwater Bay. We've got Shoal Lake, which is kind of connected to Lake of the Woods, a place that I really like to fish and spend some time. We got the big U.S. section of the lake right here, the big traverse. It's like being on the Great Lakes or the ocean, really big water. We got Manitoba's little section of the lake over here in Buffalo Bay. So pretty impressive. The lake's got over 14,000 islands, more shoreline than Lake Superior, and you know, it's special to me. I can look at maps like this for hours and hours. Let's go see what else they got. Obviously, the Sunset Country region, Northern Ontario, tourism is a really important deal, and it has been for a long time. For the past century, tourist operations have been functioning across the region, and this room is just your classic depiction of a log cabin. We got the old Hudson Bay blankets and log furniture. You know, this stuff's all, you go in a lot of the old resorts, and I've worked at lots of them over the years guiding, and this is kind of what they're like, so this is really cool. Hard to believe that over 100 years ago those names all existed. Yellow Girl Bay, Mist Inlet, Bell Island, and Whitefish Bay. Pretty neat stuff. Obviously, Lake of the Woods is a big body of water, so paddling around, you're not going to get very far. So from the early days, you know, we had gas motors, and you can just kind of go along the line here and see the upgrades and stuff, and bigger motors as we went along. You know, this was a 7-horse motor, you know, really big in size, and then by the mid-60s we're into these 20 horses that, you know, are getting to be quite a bit smaller. And then obviously what we have now is guys are running 250-horse motors to get around on the lake, so it's pretty neat. But I love looking at all this old stuff. This is so neat. All right, we're here now with Woody Linton, and you're one of the guys on the committee with the Sport Fishing Center, know a lot about it. So we're going to get the story from you on how it came about and you know, why it's special to you.
Well, it's special to myself and the members of our committee and the whole community because Lake of the Woods is special to us all. And fishing being the prime resource in our area, tourism being part of that system, it just is indicative that our community should have a sports fishing center. And we're so proud and so happy to have this building here, and we are so overwhelmed by the numbers of people. As you can see this evening, we have a lecture you're giving this evening, and we're filling the place up, so it's wonderful.
You know what? It's always good out here, and there's always fish biting. The walleye fishing for me, I started guiding on the lake when I was 14 years old, and those first couple times that I jumped in the boat, I'm sure I was a scrawny little kid. I probably weighed about 110 pounds, and I'm sure the guests were looking at me like, are you freaking kidding me? You know, and but we always caught fish, and walleyes were the one species that I've spent the most time fishing for on all the guide trips over the years. Probably cooked 1,000 shore lunches in my life, and it's funny, I'll go out with people now, and I like keeping those little 13 and 14-inch walleyes. Those are the best to eat. And sometimes you'll keep one of those and throw it in the live well, and you know, the guy will catch an 18-incher, and he'll be like, let's throw out that little one, and we'll throw this one in there. And I said, hey, all these shore lunches I've done, the first piece of fish everybody grabs out of the pile are those small little crispy ones, right? So, and there's a lot of those fish out there. Those are the ones that you want to keep to eat. And I was really fortunate this past weekend. There was a big tournament down on Rainy Lake, the Fort Francis Canadian Bass Championships, and fished it with a friend of mine from Minnesota, and we actually won the tournament, won $20,000. So that made my summer, and I'm still riding the high from that a little bit. Yeah, the weather wasn't very nice down there this weekend, that's for sure, but we fished an area in the south arm of the lake that was pretty protected, some shallow back bays, and caught our fish shallow. And the smallmouths out here, like I call it the guard the rock game, and if you can find those nice big boulders or a clump of weeds, a lot of times a smallmouth will be sitting around that rock and waiting for something to come by. But when it gets cold and it gets kind of nasty, I don't know if the fish just aren't as active or they just go down a little bit. I mean, they still got to eat. It's summer. Their season's short, so they want to. I mean, I think it's in them to just to eat this time of year, but it's definitely you know, it can be a lot tougher. But you know, this week down at Rainy, I mean, the fishing was the weights across the board were a lot better than I would have expected them to be, especially on the last day. It was 30-mile-an-hour north wind. It rained a little bit. I mean, it was miserable, and a lot of people caught them really good. You know, I was going out expecting if I caught 5 fish, then that's a good day. You know, and but it ended up they were biting better than we thought. We're still at the Sport Fishing Center. This is pretty neat. You're going to want to stick around. Hey, get over here. I got a hot tip for you. Shimano has redesigned the Cronarch, Curado, and Sitka baitcast reels, the Sustain and Stratic spinning reels, as well as the Crucial, Compre, Claris, and Convergence line of rods. Get down to your local dealer and check it out. Competitive anglers, watch for the Shimano Platinum Angler Program. They've got some great rewards for anglers that use Shimano products.
There's no place like this.
Why should you choose Rema Roofing? Maybe because they guarantee a free estimate within 48 hours of the initial call. Or because they're quality BP certified installers with a lifetime warranty on materials. You choose them because they have a 10-year workmanship guarantee with special rates for contractors and have been family owned and operated since 1988. They honor their scheduled commitments. But best of all, Rema Roofing does it right the first time. Welcome to Bobby's Corner, where we work hard to provide the latest and greatest tackle products for our customers.
So let us reel you in with our one-on-one customer service and our unique quality Canadian-made gifts.
For 50 years, Bobby's Sport Shop has been Northwestern Ontario's most popular vacation destination for anglers, hunters,
And anybody else who stops in.
so come and visit Bobby's Corner on the Trans-Canada Highway in Vermilion Bay. Welcome to Bobby's Corner, where we work hard to provide the latest and greatest tackle products for our customers.
So let us reel you in with our one-on-one customer service and our unique quality Canadian-made gifts.
For 50 years, Bobby's Sport Shop has been Northwestern Ontario's most popular vacation destination for anglers, hunters,
And anybody else who stops in.
so come and visit Bobby's Corner on the Trans-Canada Highway in Vermilion Bay.
Okay folks, right now we're gonna talk about trailers, and there's a couple different options out there for people. You got the bunk style trailers and you got the roller style trailers. And this particular one, this is a Lund Alaskan, comes with a roller style trailer. So you see people pull up to the ramp, and a lot of people I know are intimidated to put their boats on and off the trailer. And couple things with the roller style trailer, really easy in places where you got shallow water and it's a little bit tougher to power load your boat. By that I mean drive it on with the big motor. And then the other thing too, you have to actually put these boats in the water before you unhook the nose of it. And see how it just kind of rolls off? That's why on a steep ramp you can't unhook it before you get this thing in the water, or else it'll just slide right off. Now when I want to put it back on, watch how easy this is. Line it up nice and straight. Just like that. And then I can come, if you have a buddy, you can get them to hook up the nose of the boat for you and ratchet it the last little bit. Or, you put the motor off and finish it off, jump out of the boat, finish winching it up yourself.
And we all realize that fishing in our area is a history. And this building showcases that history.
There's more walleyes than anything else, and if you want to go out and try to catch 100 walleyes in a day, that's the place you want to go. And you're going to get a lot of small fish, but there's big ones mixed in as well. And I mean, if you got lots of time to play around, you can play around with different tackle, crankbaits, and trolling and doing different things. If you've only got a few days, you don't want to mess around, you want to go catch fish, you tie on a jig and you get some meat, whether it's a minnow or a leech or a half a night crawler. And that is the best way just to simply catch fish. But if you play around with artificial baits and trolling and doing some of that, you're going to select for more big fish and catch fish shallower than you would expect to, and run into them in different places. There's a lot of history with the lake, and if you don't have a place like this, then people aren't going to be aware of it and know all the stuff that's gone on out there. And
exactly. Exactly. And there's a lot of folks that are young people that live in our community that are able now to see this history, and the folks that made the history are coming in also. Mm-hmm. And behind us here we have a whole rack of outboard motors that date right back to 1929, and these motors, all in working order of course, were used by our forefathers to ply the lakes and do the sports fishing thing and go into the back bays and Lake of the Woods. So absolutely marvelous, and we're so fortunate to have the different levels of government that supported us here, and the whole community is behind it all.
Well, I hope that all the teachers that are out there watching, this is a great place to bring your class, take a day trip, and come and see all the cool stuff here, because I'm really impressed, and I could spend hours looking around in here. I'm having fun.
We hope everyone comes down and joins us here in Sioux Narrows at the Northern Ontario Sports Fishing Center.
We're leaving dry land and headed back to the water, so don't go anywhere. Power Pro Super Slick 8 is smooth as silk and casts like a bullet. Enhanced body technology makes it thinner, stronger, smoother, and quieter. Use brown in the wood, green in the weeds, and yellow for high-vis fishing situations. Power Pro Super Slick, unleash the power with none of the noise.
Devil's Gap Marina is ready to give you a hand this season, so pull up to their docks or roll up to the pumps before you hit the lake and stock up on a variety of live and artificial baits. While you're at it, you can grab some snacks at their convenience store or fuel up at the chip truck. Our marina staff is happy to lend a hand at both Devil's Gap and Bear Point Marina, so you can spend less time on shore and more time on the water. Devil's Gap Marina, open year-round on beautiful Lake of the Woods.
Goodyear, chosen to get through tough winters. And the tire dealers you choose for great service trust Goodyear too. Their experience with winter tire care inspires the expert service they pass on to you. Goodyear, more driven.
Lund boats have been built for anglers by anglers since 1948, so they know what they're doing. I rely on them for all of my fishing, whether I'm in a tournament, guiding, or just going out for fun with my buddies. They have the best warranty in the business. You owe it to yourself to go check them out. Head down to your nearest Lund dealer. They'll be able to look after you. Good fishing.
Lake sturgeon have been living in Lake of the Woods, Rainy River, and area lakes for a long time. We mean a long time. Ever since the Lake Gussy glaciers melted after the Ice Age, and that was thousands of years ago. These fish are also known for their tasty roe, or rather caviar, if you like that sort of thing. In the latter 1800s until the turn of the 20th century, sturgeon in this area were highly prized by the upper echelon around the world and commercially sought after for profit. Despite one company reporting record earnings in 1894 worth $75,000, others got scammed. One recorded trade was 7 sturgeon, none under 40 pounds, for one lone cotton t-shirt. In 1895, over 245,000 kilograms of caviar was harvested. 15 years later, the harvest records showed a 95% drop, nearly wiping out the entire population. Now protected fish with continued low population numbers, lake sturgeon are part of a dark past with hopes of rejuvenation for the future.
We're out today looking for smallmouths, and we're going to use, we're throwing jerk baits, but they're kind of a unique kind of jerk bait. They're a little bit different than the traditional stuff. And if you've watched the show over the last few years, you've seen us suspending jerk baits, quite a bit. Great bait for a lot of different species across Sunset Country. But these ones today, I got 2 different ones, and they're both made by Jackal Lures. Really, really pretty. Cosmetically, these baits are top of the line. Good hooks, good split rings, and really, really nice color finishes on them. But the neat thing about these 2 jerk baits I'm using is they're both deep diving. They have lips on them that are going to get them down there a little bit. So it's mid to late summer. Those smallmouths are getting out a little bit. They're getting a little bit deeper. So you want to use baits that are going to be able to get down to the fish, get in their face, and get their attention and trigger them to strike. So we have a lot of smelt in our lakes, and ciscos and perch, and these bass eat a lot of minnows. So jerk baits are something that you're going to be able to use and catch a lot of fish. So the other one I got on the deck here is the Soul Shad, and it's got a little bit thicker profile than this DD Squirrel I just showed you, but same type of deal. It goes a little bit deeper, a little bit bigger lip on it, but again, really nice, beautiful finish, good hooks, quality bait. So we're gonna play around with these two jerk baits today and figure out how to catch some smallmouths. All right, at the spot. The reason these jerk baits work so well for smallmouths and why so many people use them is they're just a good way to cover a lot of water. And smallmouths like to chase stuff. They can, you know, especially in this clear water, they can see things moving from a long ways away. And there we go, there's a nice one. Oh, it's a walleye. I actually saw that thing come up and hit me following it just like a bass. I thought it was actually a big bass when he was right by the boat when he hit it. That's funny. Nice walleye. Man, I thought I actually had a 4-pound bass coming up there. And that's when a lot of fish will, you know, whether it's bass or pike or walleyes, when you're using these types of baits, a lot of times when they will bite it is on that, you know, you pull it straight for the longest time, and then when you get close to the bait to the boat, that bait's got to start coming up. Always be ready when you make that first sort of pull up with your bait, because that's just a big time triggering mechanism for all these fish to bite. Oh, look at this. This is so cool. There is a whole pack of them. They're going to see the boat and spook off, but there is a lot of fish down there. There was 6 or 7 of them in the first time they came up. The water's just got enough color in it now that you can't see them all that good once they get down there, but that was a pretty good group of them. That one was on the sole shad, a little different. Figured I'd try a little different bait that time. Little guy. Again, the friends were couple of them were really nice big ones, but there was a whole flock of them that came up that first time. It was kind of cool. It's all about fine-tuning your techniques to nail down a pattern, and it pays off. Coming up next. Hey, get over here. I got a hot tip for you. Shimano has redesigned the Cronarch, Corrado, and Sidecar baitcast reels, the Sustain and Stratic spinning reels, as well as the crucial Compre, Claris, and Convergence line of rods. Get down to your local dealer and check it out. Competitive anglers, watch for the Shimano Platinum Angler Program. They've got some great rewards for anglers that use Shimano products.
Napa Auto Pro keeps cars and sometimes their drivers young a long time.
Do you think about boating all year long? Woodlake Marine will help you hit the lake in style, as their high-quality marine products are sure to please. Let their award-winning staff tour you around the showroom of top-of-the-line new and used boats and other recreational products that are sure to exceed your expectations, but not your budget. Woodlake Marine, delivering the ultimate boating experience. Call or click today.
a little break up there. You can see the rock sort of shelves out and then it drops off, and that's right where those fish are, is on the drop off, where they were. But that last cast, I didn't get quite enough distance on it, and I landed it right on kind of where the fish were. And with a bait like this, you want to cast past the spot so that bait has a little time to get down in front of the fish when it gets to them. If you jerk it too hard, the bait's going to roll over and it's not going to get down there and run properly. So you can see I'm just kind of, you know, I'm jerking it, and these are suspending too, so you give it a pause every once in a while. And then, yeah, just sort of a jerk, or pull, pause. Using a little bit longer rod than you would normally use as well for throwing a traditional jerk bait. This is a 7/4 Loomis bronzeback rod, sort of designed for smallmouths. And in my opinion, this fishing rod, I've got a couple of them. This one here, I bought when I was, probably, I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago. I've had it for a long time. There you can see bronzeback. And it's 7 feet 4 inches, so it's a little bit longer. But these baits are relatively small, so I'm able to cast them a lot farther with the longer rod. And they don't have real big hooks on them, so you know that longer rod just gives you a little bit more shock absorption, and you're not going to pull those hooks out of the fish's mouth. So it works it's just a good rod for giving the bait, you know, the proper action. And you know, people out there looking to get a really nice fishing rod for smallmouth fishing. This particular one, there's one, is not all that expensive either. It's pretty reasonably priced for a top of the line fishing rod. They're supposed to have a bunch of friends out on this stuff and be all schooled up. There we go. So that guy had the front hook in his mouth and it just pulled out, so we got one on the side of the, he's okay though. If I hold him way out, maybe he'll look bigger. Oh, look at that, something took a little nip out of him, probably a big pike or something out here. He's lucky he got away. There we go. There's a bass, but it's a tiny one again. It's all right, he's a jumper. Ooh. Oh, look at the big one with him down there. There's a great big one down there following him. Oh, he just tried. I could actually feel him hit the bait. I might be able to hook both of these up. If I had a jig, I would catch that other one. Or if I had a partner in the boat, we could catch that other one really fast. I actually felt the other fish hit the bait. He tried to steal it from this little guy, but he didn't get her. Almost. That would have been kind of cool. Whoa. All right, we're getting into some action here now. I like action. There we go. There's another one. That's 3 and 3 casts. Man, they're bulldoggers. This one's not all that big. I just kind of got him hooked, sort of same one hook in the mouth and one in the side. So he's pulling like a little bit more than he is. You can see that bait is like a perfect replica of a smelt. They're kind of long and slender just like that. And so that's what those little suckers think it is a smelt. They're pretty.
Fishing with Gussy proudly uses and is sponsored by Jackal Lures.